What's up, guys, and welcome to a new episode of Let's Build This. If you've been following the series, you've seen me build all kinds of stuff for my kids, but today we're going to change it up and build something for my wife. So my wife has very simple taste, and I gave her just about anything that she could possibly want me to build, and of course she chose, to me, what seems like the simplest, smallest thing. But to her, it's important, so let's do it. So if you haven't guessed by the thumbnail, we are going to be making a wooden sponge caddy. And right here I'm using a piece of wood as a reference for a sponge because my wife has eagle eyes for things that she uses, and apparently sponges are one of them. And before I get in trouble, let me correct, Sponge Daddy sponges, because for some reason those are so much better. But anyway, by my calculations we needed about 4 pieces at 5 inches. So that's what we're going with. So you guys know I like using scrap woods or reclaimed wood. So today is no different. We're going to try and use this. And this is what looks to be a piece of pine or oak. It's pretty hard. It might actually be oak. But if you look right there, this was actually a bottom support for one of our beds that I ended up making my own out of. And this was just a leftover piece. So let's see what we can do. We're going to take this and cut it in 4s, roughly like that, and that'll give us our pieces to make the top. Let's do it. I literally cannot tell you just how much having a table saw has upgraded my shop. I sped up these next shots because I accidentally put the camera on the saw table, which caused a lot of shaking. But here's our pieces of wood. On to my next favorite piece of machinery in the shop now, the planer. Jump over to the miter saw and quickly cut my 45s. Alright, so we got our 4 top pieces, and we got our 4 bottom pieces. Or at least that's what I'm thinking I'm going to use for now. So let's just start with like 2, like the drawing, and see how that looks. Alright, so 2 doesn't look too bad. I decided on 3. It just looks better in my opinion. And I know my wife. So let's sand it and get it stained. I think I've officially decided that the next tool I'm getting is a belt sander, because this took way too long. I'll be using one of the wings on my planer as a flat surface to assemble this. I decided not to use glue because it would be introduced to so much water that I thought that it might cause the glue to become loose. So I just decided to simply use brad nails. It's not rocket science. I just kind of eyeballed them being level, and that's it. Knock off Sponge Daddy for reference, and we're good to go. Now my wife is a huge fan of darker stains, so I'm going with this smoke gray wood stain. You might have seen it on one of my other projects. As a matter of fact, this is the one that made my wife love this stain. So we're going to go for a style similar to this, where we're going to go back and sand the edges off, make it a little bit more rustic. Here we go. So this was frozen because I left it out here in a non-heated barn, but I used a little space heater to heat it back up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will work. It seems to be working on here, so we'll see. Take this in front of the heater and let it dry for a little bit. So here she is after she's dried. We're going to take a little bit of this sandpaper and just rough around the edges and make it look a little rustic. Check that out. Now we're going to try a little protective finish. And this is a matte finish, so it shouldn't affect how it looks too much. Let's try it. Now let's let this dry in front of a heater so we can put another coat or 2 on it. Is that thing on? Now, because my wife absolutely hates being on camera, I'm not going to be able to show you her reaction. So I'll just have to act it out. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn. Here you go, babe. I made this for you. Oh my gosh, you're the greatest husband in the whole world. This is even better than when you bought us a house. All right, for real though, she liked it, but not that much. So what are you waiting for? Go build it.